computer. All right, good evening or good whatever time it is, wherever you are. Sketchbook Heroes taking on drawing challenges. And here we got a simple one. We got a horse from, what website is this? I've got to give them props. Easy Peasy and Fun Art. We're going to be drawing this horse here. I did want to break it down real quick. So we've got, before we start drawing, it's good to see what we're looking for. So the first thing we want to see is the biggest shapes. And I think, well, we can see this big shape here. And that's, oh, it kind of fits really nicely in a square. I can see that kind of fits really nicely in a square. So, and then this here is pretty square. Let me move that around. This square is one I see right in there. Now that one. And then you can see how the head is right above it. So we're not going to get a giraffe today. We're definitely a lot of drawings. And that was my fault. I tried to sometimes, you know, I was tired when we did this last week. I had to get my rest. But here we go. We're going to take this drawing on. So you can see the square in here. You can see this is actually really crucial. Not only that square, but if you look at half the square, you can see, here it goes. You can see it is right there, the body. Okay, so we will start off with this square and the relationships, because the body is a square and that's a ratio, the same height and same width. It's going to be the same height, same width, no matter how big or small you make your square. So you'll see that. And then you can see this, the head, how it fits in there. All right, so if you want to screenshot this, I should have drawn it big. It's made it bigger. Oh, it's all good. I'll just keep going. Screenshot this. Right click, copy image address. There we go. I'll put it in the chat in a minute. Paste. There we go. And definitely there's a lot of stuff going on here. We need to zoom in. There we go. So if you want to take a picture, screenshot it, let me put it in the chat. They're not all the past. They're going to be not all of them. The ones that I've recorded, because there's been classes that I have not recorded. I'm working on putting those together and recording them, putting the task classes up, and as well as shrinking them down, like all the extra air and fluff stuff that's not needed. I want to make some videos using those videos that are just like concise and to the point. And go. All right, so it's in the chat. There it is. We're ready to go. I think we're ready to go on this one. I wish we could keep. You know what? That's would have been a good. Let me do that. I'll annotate it again, and I'm going to screenshot it. I'm like, how can I see? You see, it's all solving problems. So here we go. We're going to screenshot it. Is it still up? Yeah, no, it's still sharing. Annotate. There it is. I lost my tools. There we go. Okay, so we've got this square here. And this is to help with proportions and help with other stuff. We have this square here. Say probably right there. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. What else? Oh yeah, the center. And if I click on this here, it click out, then click on it. There we go. You can see these two dots are right in the middle, and so is that body. So the legs are as long as the body. So if I do this, there we go, and then screenshot that, Control Shift. I think it's just Control There we go. Then I go into Photoshop. Oh, I can't do that. So get your pencils ready. We're about to start. Clear. There we go. Let me show you what I'm doing. I thought I cleared. Clear. All drawings. So I did. It's there. Okay. Thank you for being patient. Patience and persistence. Here we go. Here's Photoshop. Let's see if it works. I think I did put it in the chat, right? Okay, we got down 44 people. We will get a little more advanced. I did pull up nature. New. Clipboard, create. Should be nice and long. There it is. Control B. You can see my two screens. So there's our drawing, and there's the, there we go. That's going to help me. All right, cool. All right, so here we go. We're going to dig deep and start off with the our square. I will use a pencil tonight. Pencil drawing as somebody requested. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what materials you use. You want to get comfortable with it. And then once you're comfortable with your material, you'll know it's like, okay, I'm going to try something different. Sometimes we try to, I know people were using a, like a Ferrari to learn how to drive. All right, so here's my square, and this is good practice, noticing the height and the width. This is eyeballing. Let me see how accurate I got. I can measure this. Height. There's 1 and there's 2. Pretty accurate, right? And that's just freehand, and that takes some practice. If that's the ratios. That's a wrap to draw. We're looking at ratios, angles, proportions. Angles are pretty basic, which is vertical and horizontal. That's the basic angles, and then from there, other angles. So here, let's see. There's ratios. Oh, let me move this window. Here we go. Let me make this bigger. What's going on? Oh. Oh. All right. Okay. Now the other square, I would say it fits inside the square, right about there, right about there. And once I do this, there's I would say proportions, how big this box is compared to that box. If your proportions are off, it's not a big deal. We're really focusing on the smaller square right here, the smaller square. All right, and half that square is where the body's going to be. All right, the top part is the body, and then the legs are on the bottom. All right.
Excuse me, Eladio.
Yes, Maria.
Can you share the picture on the chat?
Oh, the picture? Yeah, the picture. Did you just get here?
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me see. Okay. There it is. All right. Okay. Here we go. All right, welcome everybody. Okay, so here we go. We have our two squares, our square broken into 2 rectangles is what I meant. All right, so the top part is the body, the bottom part is the feet. The head is about the size, a little bit smaller than that top rectangle, and it goes just slightly above, and it fits right in there. I'm going to just do a little bit of an oval, just so it kind of, so you can see how it all kind of fits. I would say there. And almost off the middle, a little off to the right is where it kind of goes up onto that, attaching itself. Let me zoom in. Let's zoom in. There we go. One more. I think that's it. Yeah, that looks good. Right there. Okay. So there we have. So even if you just start off with this square, that would be great. And this is pretty much everything kind of blocked in, because there's the body, the feet. These are the big shapes. The head's going to be right in there with the ears. The ears are going to go up to that top line, and there's something like that. And then the mane right down to the middle of our square. All right, let's do this. Actually, I can still put in some middle size legs here. This is going back here and then down. And then the front leg here and the front leg here. All right, so something like that. So what's really important is really trying to get the proportions. And if you don't get it, that's fine. That's fine. What's important is the practice. So now I'm going to go ahead and just draw it in. Let's see. We're going to start up here. I'm going to bring it down. It comes up and curves around right in here. There's like that. And there is like a bean shape in here, a bean shape on that top. Right. This leg comes back and then it moves forward. And this leg is closer to us, so it's right at the bottom there, like that. You see, drawing the square in and then cutting it in half helps show you how it all fits. The proportions is important. Sometimes we draw the legs too long or the body too big. How everything fits is like a puzzle. There's that back leg. Let's do the body. The front leg I already have in there. There we go. Don't want to second guess myself. There's a slight curve up. There's a slight taper, is what I meant. And then the underneath, there's overlapping. So the body goes under that leg and then comes up. Oops. In the square image, it actually has a little more space there. So I'm already off, I think, a little bit. That's okay, we'll just go up. Let's do that back leg. Get it to fit in there. Right. So the front back leg. It kind of echoes the one in the front. It should be a little bit higher. If you notice, these legs on this side that are facing us are lower, and the ones back here are a little bit higher up. It's how artists create space using placement. Okay, that's a cute horse. He's got a he or she. He's got like this bean shape. There's two circles. There's a circle here, kind of like a circle there, and then another circle right in front of it. When you're first starting out, it's good to kind of sketch it in lightly, and afterwards you don't even have to. You can just see it, how it's constructed. All right, so you can see those two circles, how big they are compared to each other. The ears go over, so just note that. So don't go too dark there yet. There's one ear here. It's kind of like a leaf shape. And then there's the mane that kind of comes over. Now, this one's definitely a lot simpler than the horse that we tried last week. And hopefully your neck is not as long. All right, here we go. Let's do the shape. So I'm going to bring this out a little bit, go around this, curving it around a little bit, then bringing it up, and then stopping it right there, the jaw. There he is. Cute little pony. It says horse, but it looks like a pony. All right, let's do the other ear. It's at an angle. This first ear was almost vertical. This one's coming out right about there, and it's behind that. Let's do the mane. I already have it sketched in. That helps if you sketch it in lightly like that, the shape of it. And then on top of that shape, you see the shape that's right in there. I have it already sketched in lightly. I can go in and just put these like little triangle shapes as it comes down along that. All right. Let's get into the face. We're almost done. A lot quicker than last week. I think I went a little too low with the hair. I'm gonna probably do a little bit of overlapping. So I'm gonna put in the eye. It's an oval shape right about there. If I find the center of this pear shape, these two circles, that eye is resting right on top of that. See, I don't know if I should do that a different color. So this line here, the center line, the axis line of the shape of the head, that's the center, and you can see it's above that center. It's good to see fractions. Fractions, yes, math. So how things fit together, the halves, the quarters. The fractions don't really get that difficult. It's just like money. 50 cents, that's 50 cents right there. Let's put in a joke. It's time for a joke. Oh my gosh. Is it? Okay. My daughter, she told me she wanted to go to the 50-cent concert. So I gave her $1 and told her to take her brother. Ta-da. All right.
I like it.
Okay. A little cheesy. That's all good. All right. Yeah, 50 cents. It's fractions and percentages. They're all very similar. It's all parts and whole. Learning to see the parts, learning to see the whole, and all together how it all fits. So here's the cute little smiley horse. There it is. I'm going to zoom in on the face so you can see if you don't have it. There it is. Wow. I drew it a little small. It's all good. See the construction underneath, the circles, all that stuff helps. You need to learn how to see it, how it's constructed. There we go. And then it's just the tail and the hooves, and we're done. If you want to shade it, if you want to color it, I think that there is a colored version of it. And there it goes. From here, we're going to go up, not as high as I have it. Here it's going to go up, and then it's going to come down and swirl out. Same as our horse from last week. I remember it has this, the mane has that little swoop. Just think of it as a little roller coaster. Swoops, comes back in, and then goes out. And then the backside swoops up. Try to get the mass of it. Try to get that feel of that tail. It's exactly, I remember this. And you'll remember stuff like you draw stuff and it becomes part of your memory. It becomes part of something you've experienced. And our horse is right here. There it is. There's that tail. We did that same thing, just facing the other way. And that's how you get better, because you practice it and like, oh, I did this before. I've done this before. I've come across this problem. It's not a problem. It's something you figured out now. All right, and then the hooves. We'll do a little bit of practicing on sketching. And let's see. Just doing the hooves. Watch out for tangents. That does have a tangent. Tangent is where I'm going to bring this a little bit lower, where lines kind of cross over. Now let's get advanced. I'm going to go ahead and shade this. You can shade it any way you'd like. I'm going to shade the tail. This is good practice. Usually when you're drawing, just draw for fun. You just, especially when you're learning to draw, you just want to draw one thing after another and keep drawing and drawing. And sometimes, keep sketching. Because that's what it's about. Sketching is more important. There's a difference between sketching and drawing. This is a little bit more, almost a drawing. Well, it's a sketch, and on top of it, once you refine it, it becomes more of a drawing. Clean it up, erase it. But we can leave it at that and say it's a sketch. It's just a sketch. There we go. Sketch shading in here because it's further back. It's in the shadow. Occlusion shadow. There we go. And the way I'm going to shade these, I'm going to put a little bit of a highlight. Leave a little bit of it light. Usually the hooves are shiny. There we go. So it's just leaving one little area light. There we go. But I think we're done. All right, we have time. It is 7:22. We did this in 20 minutes. We've got, let's see. I got our participants. We got 44. You talked about proportions. How did you decide the starting proportions of this piece? Oh, okay. the proportions because, oh, once we saw the square, how did we decide? We saw the proportions, okay? We saw the body and the legs are the same height, or actually the half, so the halfway point. So that's 1, and then that's 2, that's proportions there. And then for the head, I just eyeballed it. Really. It's just the spacing here and seeing how big something is compared to something else. So I knew this head was just slightly smaller than the body itself. I didn't give an exact size, but if we were to move the head below it, it would fit in here just like that. All right, let's take a look for another drawing and then we'll share. Let's see. I think we said nature. Let's take a look for some nature pictures. Feel free to draw another horse. Feel free to, I don't know, should we spin the wheel? We'll spin the wheel again. We'll keep it simple nature scene. Let's see.
Eladio, could I ask you a question about tangents?
Yes.
You said tangents are not good. Can you go over that again? Like what you mean by that?
Yes. Good question. All right, so before I share, let's not share yet. Okay, so here there's a little bit of a tangent. All right, and I was being careful with not having a tangent. So here, the hoof. So the hoof as it came down here, like this front hoof, and it's a very crude drawing here. If I kept going here, it would be a tangent with the other hoof in the back. See how this lines up? You don't want that. You want to bring it up or put it down just slightly, if you can. You want to be clear with what you're trying to say with your drawing. This will confuse people, right? So that's a tangent. So by bringing it down and just slightly, or even, where's my erasers? My erasers, there we go. Bringing it down even, let me see. So it's just being aware of that because you're dealing with a flat surface, and just by bringing it down a little bit, that makes a difference, right? See it now?
Yeah, I see it. I think you also mentioned it when we were doing a landscape with the mountains and the pine trees.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking up when you said there's a tangent here.
Yeah.
Do you remember what
Yes, I do.
trees were and what we're supposed to avoid?
Yeah. And that's basically it. It's two lines that are together. Let me see. I do have that drawing. Let me see if I can find it. Ah, here it is. No, that's not the one. This is a different landscape. It wasn't that one. Yeah, there were trees. There was a tree in the background or something that kind of overlapped, and it's just being careful with the tangent, specifically with that one.
Like I remember you didn't like the way the artist had the trees together, but I didn't know which trees you were referring to because I wasn't.
Oh, okay. Second. Everybody else who's waiting, feel free to draw your horse again or draw a background, create a story. You always want to rise to your level. Here's actually a Steal Like an Artist. It's good to copy. There was one thing that, as I'm looking, there's one thing that a student told me. He says, hey, you're cheating. I'm not cheating. I was using a compass to make circles. And I guess, no, you got to use it, you got to use your tools. All right, that's a really good book. It's actually, you can find it on PDF Drive. I can put the link in the chat. That was something I wanted to share. Let me look again. Let me flip through these drawings. These are older ones. It has to be newer. The landscape we did a couple weeks ago. I think I'm getting close. There's a landscape. I have a dragon. Mm. It should be here.
Oh, it's okay if you can't find it, Eladio. I
I'm
don't
gonna,
want to.
yeah, I'm gonna look this
Fine.
this stack right here. If it's not here, then we'll move up, keep moving. We'll look for it again later. Yeah, I don't see it here. Must have just missed it somewhere. Oh no, here it is. Ta-da! It's always in the last one that you look at. Okay, so we drew this a couple weeks ago. Here we go. So a tangent, I think a tangent, well, I don't have it anymore. It might have been, I don't know if it was one of these trees that the lines kind of lined up. So I just moved it over a little bit.
Oh, is
I'd
it
have to look up.
to the right? Was it blending in with the mountains, the small one?
Yeah, it was blending in somehow. And that's what a tangent is. A tangent
Oh, so that's what
blends
you
in.
meant.
Yeah, a tangent just blends in. So it's being aware of that and trying to, really show where the differences are. Because as
So
an
you
artist, you're showing the difference, right? So what is the
shifted
difference?
over the tree?
Yeah, I can't remember where it was. It was, I remember, I think it was somewhere around in here.
Oh,
I'd have to look at the video,
okay.
but it's somewhere around in there.
So you just didn't want it to blend in with the mountain or look like the line of the mountain. Is that's what you meant by?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I think it was here. I might have raised that one. So for example, let's say this little peak there goes up something like this. And the tree might have been like right against it like that. So instead of doing it right against it like that, I brought it up, right? It's just bringing it up. You'll come across it. And if you see it in your work, I'll point it out. Oh, there's a tangent. And then you just laugh about it, right? And say, okay, just try to avoid them.
So even if like that's the way it actually is, you would recommend like shifting it in some way.
Yes, as an artist, you're trying to communicate. And sometimes, you want to take your artistic license and change things. You don't want to copy straight. You actually do want to, put it through your lens as an artist and really, sometimes as an artist, you can bring out colors more. You can, you don't have to copy exactly. It's good to copy exactly when you're learning, right? To try, because it's difficult to copy something exactly. It's a challenge. And it's a good exercise, but sometimes once you understand color, once you understand value, once you understand things, sometimes you want to push things. You want to push things. For example, like here, let's say there was, and these are more advanced discussions. So if there's like a telephone pole here, and we had these telephone lines, they would be dark in one area. And then if they went over in another area, you got to use your artistic license. You're not going to go dark again. You want that contrast, but you can actually go light, and do the lines light in a different area, just so that you have contrast, right? And you're showing the lines. They don't always have to be dark all the time. Like, let's say there's clouds on this side, white clouds, and on this side it's dark. And you can't do dark against dark, right? If it's really dark, you can, let's say there's blue sky, then you would have the lines white or light, as an example. All right, yeah, so it's basically trying to be as clear as possible. All right, let's take a look. Little detour there. Share my screen. Oh, there we go. So we're going to be looking for nature. We're going to be looking for some, see, that one was not specific. That suggestion is not specific. And that's where specific, and that was fine because I asked for topics. Close, let's spin the wheel again. If we find something with nature, we'll add something nature and robots. So let's do simple nature and maybe even robots somehow. Simple nature drawing. Because we're still in the first hour. There we go. Very simple. Well, see, I don't know what people might have had in their mind, because we can do something simple as this one here, and then something a little more difficult like that one with the shading and stuff. So I would probably go with something like that one. Robots. I don't know how we can fit a robot in there. Look at that one, nature scene. I like that one, actually. All right, let's do that. Actually, that actually fits with our horse. We can fit our horse on top of that. So we can put our horse right in here. That sounds good. So we're going to go ahead and do this easy mountain hill scenery drawing, and we'll put our horse there. One thing too, this actually would be a good point. So let's actually, I can make a couple of good points with this one. And even though it's a simple copy image, this will be good for even our advanced people, because I get this a lot with my students. Chat, nature, yes. All right, somebody loving the nature, great. Actually, this is gonna be good. All right, so there's our picture. I'm gonna put it in the chat. There we go. Copy it again. Put it in the chat. Is it coming? There we go. All right. So here we go. We're gonna put our horse in the chat. I gotta erase our hooves over here, our tangent hooves. Try to erase. There we go. All right, here we go. So let's see. All right, so breaking it down, it's almost it's rounded triangles. If we see the triangle shapes, let's see the triangle shapes. I'm going to break it down a little bit for everybody to see what you're looking for, because it's mostly triangular with a rounded top. So if we look at this triangle shape here, you can see this triangle shape, that angle probably right about there. Try to see the big shapes here. So even though the tops are rounded, they're easy to round. And you can see this one actually a line going in a different direction. And that's what roundedness is. It's just this line moving. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, good. Even this is that angle there. And then this angle almost like there. And this tree, oops. Tapers here, tapers there. There's also the axis line that kind of goes in the middle of this. I would probably say it kind of comes out like that, because it really tapers. This tree really tapers it. It has really nice movement. And then the shapes, let's do some 3 shapes really quick, and then we'll start drawing this. If you have color, great. If you don't, that's okay. I'm not gonna use any color. I'm just gonna shade. So you got to see where your challenges are. Let me just annotate some oval shapes here. Okay, so there's a big oval shape there. There's the big shape. There's the big shape, and then the smaller ovals is this shape here. Don't let the detail confuse you. You want to see these big shapes first. There we go, that big shape there. And this one, I can't turn this oval, but there's a slight angle to that one there. All right, so let's do this. Anything in the chat? Nope, here we go. Let's get going on this one. I'm gonna actually add my horse. I'm gonna put my horse in front of this. So let me see how big my horse is gonna be. I think my horse is gonna be, let me do a different color so you can see. Let's use this purple, not purple, this magenta. Whatever it says. Here we go. So my horse is I'm gonna see if I can get it to fit like right in here. Here's the body of my horse. And then the head is probably gonna be like right in here. So, because I actually did draw it kind of small. So I'm gonna try to get my horse to fit like right in here. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, right in there. So here's my horse. See, that's very basic construction of the horse. I know it's a square. I know the head was about that shape there. Okay, are we ready? We're ready to rock and roll. Let's do this. All right. Ooh, we lost a couple people. Little, all right. I'm not in the flow. It's okay. Let's keep going. Erase. Clear. Did I put in the chat? Yes, I did. Clear all drawings. We're just gonna go for it. Let's do this. Stop sharing. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna start with the ground. The ground kind of loops, swoops up in here and then swoops down. My tree is going to be right about here. All right. And then the big part is right up there. So it's going to fit right in there like that. And then it swoops in here like this. Lost some people. It's all good. And here's a tangent. See, now here's a tangent for this tail. I'm going to bring this hill up just a little bit. There we go, just so that there's no tangent right there. So yeah, just be on the lookout for those tangents, those terrible tangents. There we go. Yeah, it'll help move faster too. If people find specific drawings. I will put that in the required when you sign up in the meetup. Like, hey, do you have a picture you'd like for us to draw? And that'll actually help the class move a little faster. Shading the ear a little bit. So I've got the ground. I've got this ground right here. Nice little ground. I watched out for my tangents. It moves really nicely. And then I've got this, the tree. It's going to be back here. It's going to go up and curve. And we're doing overlapping. We're, oh, this is one of the things I wanted to mention is that I always get students that do things right at the bottom of their paper. They do try to get everything to like be at the bottom of their paper for some reason, like it's a plane, but the plane does go back into space. It does go back. And this horse is probably a little high, but that's okay. That's okay. There's a lot of grass in here, and then there's 3 flowers. I'm gonna put in the 3 flowers just to, as ovals. Well, there's 1, 2, and then 3. 3 little ovals right in there. And then the mountains, and it actually come up in here. This mountain's gonna come up in here, right in there, right behind my horse. If your mountain is, you know, if you need to move it or do it on a all by itself, it's fine. So that mountain is behind there. The second mountain kind of comes up in here and then comes down. That's all right. There we go. And then there's all kinds of bushes in here. There's all kinds of bushes. So I'm going to break them down. I'm going to put 1 circle, 2 circles, 3 circles as it gets bigger, and then a 4th circle. Just as placekeepers, it's not actually that accurate. I see the circles. You got to do what you see and then work from there. It's going to be those 4 circles like that. So this whole shrubbery in this background just attaches itself to that. So there's my 4 circles. I'm going to go little circles now on top of this. So those are the big shapes and the little shapes going around it. Just like these little, almost like cloud shapes. Just like that. And this one almost had like 2. Like that, and I think it actually goes up a little higher there. There we go. Let me zoom in so you can see what I did. There's the 4 circles, and then actually this one was a little bit more of like a another circle there. Now, what else? All right. I'm gonna leave that for shading for later. I'll also leave the mountain shading for later. We will focus on the tree, and that'll be it. So here we go. Let's go to the tree. There's 3 parts. We've got this oval here, that oval there, and then we have another oval over here. And then we have the other oval up there, the big oval. And I like the way that kind of is. Now we need to, just like we did the other shrub, I can break it down into smaller circles. There's like a bump here, another one down here. And then it actually goes off into like a point in there. So I'm kind of just making note and sketching it where it's going to kind of go. Now I'm just going to go right on top of that. This is probably the part of the tree that's closest to us. There is, we do have to be careful with this branch that actually overlaps. So I'm going to bring that branch up, overlap it as it comes down and curves just slightly. There's a little V right in there, that branch. And here we go. Let's do that whole area. It's kind of like cloud shapes. Just come to like a point. Goes up and over. And this is where actually a blind contour actually kind of helps. Blind contour is an exercise where you draw without looking at your paper. So it's one of Betty Edwards' drawing exercises that goes back to the 70s, I think. 70s, 80s, definitely the 80s, maybe a little, definitely older. I got to see when that book came out, drawing on the right side of the brain. So I got that. I got a good feel of it. It was more triangular. Here we go. Then this part of that branch. The hardest part, I think, with this tree is getting those parallel lines and getting those tapering, getting that tapering, that feel of that form. All right, here we go. All right, and I'm going a little bit wider. And I think I might, a little wider. As it comes down, it actually got wider. So it needs to taper. This is actually already starting to get form or shape, the feel of a shape. So you have one line down, kind of like the tail. We have one line down. And then when you do the second line, you almost want to look at the first line to see and that thickness and how it's tapering or how it's getting just a little bit wider. You don't want it to be parallel. You want it to get wider as it comes down. Here too. Here I kind of, it looks almost parallel. It should be getting wider as it comes down. That's good. I think the hill's on the wrong spot. All right, let's do this other part of the tree back here. There's like little puffy clouds. I'm not getting that accurate. It's okay. There's like another circle there, bringing it down. There we go. That's good. I didn't draw the circles. I'll do that this next time on this big one. Although it's let me see the path. It needs to come up this way a little bit more. That way there. Oh, here we go. This is where there is a little bit of a movement in. And then here would be another circle, like a circle there. There we go. Trying to see my path. I'm going to be going because it almost goes up and down in here. And then it comes right in here. Really, there's more of a change in there. Especially that circle shape there. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to start up here and then I'm going to go all the way around it and over here. There we go. This one's going to be fun to color if you have colors. If you don't, that's okay. I'm going to shade it myself. just using shading. And that's a little more advanced. The lights and the darks. Off the top, there's a bit of a bump there. And this is where it kind of like in and out. And it comes down. A little bit of a point. There we go. That's it. All right. I think that's it. Let me zoom out. There we go. And there's birds and there's other stuff in the sky. Actually, there's 3 birds. That's the 2 arched birds. It's like a little arch. This one's a little bit different. I think it arches a little further out. And then this one. McDonald birds, McDonald arches. All right, that's it. Oh no, we still got the flowers in the foreground here and the grass. That's going to be a challenge. I'm going to zoom in on that area. All right, so we'll start off with the flowers. So these like roses. They're almost like this. I'm taking that oval shape. I'm making it a little more pointy, and then I'm just adding a little bit of a turn to it. Right, this turn. So it has the way this petal kind of turns around there. And usually you can put a spiral at the top or a little bit, since it's so far, a little bit of a spiral, and then just close it up like that. And then it comes down off of that, thicken it up. Do the same thing with this other rose. Same, do this little turn here like that. This curves out. The top, a little bit of a curve. There we go. Zoom in on that so you can see. Yeah, because it's not that clear in the picture. This one swerves that way a little more. And there is a thickness to it. This one curves out this way. And there it goes. And then I'm going to have the petal curve that way, around that, like that. Go around this way, just like that. Even though I started off with an oval, I kind of made it the bottoms a little more pointy. Because, yeah, a rose or flower does have more of a pointed bottom as it opens up. These are very simple, almost suggested flowers. The color really would, if you would color this is what would give you more of a suggestion of what it is. All right, now we're going to do the grass. Let's do the grass in here. The grass is just little blades of grass. Really interesting. I don't know. I just like little half moons. Try to see any rhyme or reason to them. We'll start on this right here. Right there. So it's these 2 shapes. Just getting this grass shape. Like that. Oh, let me zoom out. Zoom out. There we go. Yeah, the grass is just blades. If you're trying to get in here, let's see. There's a blade in here. One line. Try to add a curve and then try to do the second line to it. These long little tapering shapes. There's some overlapping here and there as some go in front and some go behind. Just trying to get this grass in here. Too thin. Now my thing is to try to make it natural, try to make it kind of flow in here. I'm going to put some grass in front of it because I think my spacing. So I'm going to put, so it's good to try to go from foreground to background, because here I can put some, I'm just going to mix some grass up in the foreground. And you want to go foreground to background because it's easier to put stuff behind. So if you put stuff in the front, like here, well, I can still, like this in here, this is where it ends right here. I can put a leaf, some grass like right in front of it. There we go, see, and then I'd continue this like behind it. So there's some overlapping of these grass shapes. Just adding all this grass here. Go the other direction. There we go. This probably needs some right in here. Because now I want to put some in here, but I'll just make it shorter. That's all right. Okay, so this is it. That's it. I'm going to go ahead and shade. Feel free to shade. And let's talk a little bit about shading. Shading, use your pencil, go sideways to get smoother shading. Don't shade it with your pencil up like this. If you hold your pencil down like this, you'll get smoother shading. Let me put a little bit of sharpen this with a blade. So I'm going to just use the blade to get a little more lead on this HB pencil. And actually can get some of this with the lead as well. It's I can shave some of the onto the drawing like this and get some soft shading. There we go. A little bit of contrast. This is where value comes in. Seeing your lights and your darks. And we're making this back part of the tree further back by making it lighter. And then here, this is going to darker, I'm sorry. And then here, this light part is going to have contrast, a difference. All right. Yay, nature. Yeah, so find pictures, put them in the and that way that'll help move a lot faster. But I do like to choose so you can see that you can use these techniques on anything that you see. You can draw anything you see by breaking it down into shapes. The shading is afterwards. The shading is the color, all that other stuff is definitely more intermediate to advanced. The light looks like it's coming from the right, and I just kind of lost that. The left side is where it's darker. So I'm going to go darker on this left side. I'm leaving a little bit of a reflected light. Let's see, even though I went too dark with my light side, by going darker with my left side, it made my right side light again. There we go. I'll go darker in this area here as well. Feel free to color. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and shade my hill. I'm going to go left to right. And add actually a little bit of a shadow under my horse, of course. Make it look like it's standing there solid. Just made a scene. Color on the roses. Shading on the rose. Yeah, trying to figure out where you want contrast, where you want to show a difference. Everywhere you have a line, you want to think about, okay, is it going to be lighter or darker on one side? Like here, this grass, I can darken it up. And then just darken up inside too. And maybe make some areas lighter. Like in here, you can see this blade right here with lighter, because the background is darker. All right. Would you work from photographs? So far in my second session, I have seen other drawings. I'm just wondering, yes, I would work from photographs. So yeah, if you want to put something, you know, find a photograph, I would work from photographs. We can do portraits. Say, hey, take on this challenge. All right, cool. I would say, okay, this is like the images that were you know, put. Those are more advanced. And I would say, okay, that's not a beginner one, but hey, we can take it on, or I can try to simplify it. Or tell you, hey, this is more intermediate, this is more advanced. And yeah, definitely copying from photographs is good. But you also want to draw from life as well, because it has its own challenges. Just the power of practice, practicing what you, and looking at other people's artworks too, saying, hey, this is what I'm aiming for, and have some kind of intention, artistic intention, what you're trying to do with your work. I want it to look like this, and just, you know, you work at it until you get it. All right, there we go. Let's see. Oh, you're welcome. Good night. All right, here we go. Let's shade this other tree. Now I do want contrast. So I'm thinking about, okay, what's going to be darker or lighter? Is it my mountain going to be darker? So if I do have a little bit of shading on my mountain back here, I would probably darken up my shading for the horse in here. See, notice I'm going darker right in there. I'm shading it darker, pushing a little bit harder. So I have that contrast. I want to show difference. So I'm bringing that up, especially right at the edge. Pushing it a little bit harder here as well. Thinking about my contrast. While I add a little bit of shade to the mountain in the back. And that it has an outline. It's a little bit of a cartoony landscape. It's not completely white though. Let's see. Should I make mine? Another thing too, as you shading with form, if you understand form, you can add reflected light. Reflected light helps produce contrast. So I'm not completely, I'm shading this more like a sphere with a reflected light. The reflected light really helps make things pop a little bit more instead of just shading it flat. A little bit of reflected light there. And as an artist, that's what you want. You want to, sometimes you want things to hide. And then sometimes you want things to really show clearly. As an artist, you need to decide what you want to show, what you want to hide. Because you don't have to show everything. You don't have to put detail into everything all the time. Sometimes you just want to simplify. And this horse has been simplified by somebody else. Yeah, learning to simplify, it's a whole other level, but something to think about. How can you simplify things? How can you make things simpler? Seeing the big shapes. All right, here we go. More shade in there. I'm just putting a shade in my mountain, just one simple quick shade in one direction. But there is, there's these lines coming out of it, like these triangular shapes actually, because it's not a smooth mountain. It's kind of coming up like this. I'm gonna make one there, put it behind my horse. Yeah, there's these like triangular shapes. Although I kind of like the smooth mountain myself. They kind of aim towards the tip of that. To that way. Comes out. Oh, personally, I liked it smoother. But there we go. Did it anyways. Now the mountain is darker right against the shrub, back here. And then the top part of the shrub is light. That shows contrast. That's a difference. And then as we go into the shrub, it goes darker. And that's it. If you're ready to like to show your work, you can show it. If you don't have to show it, we're just showing just to see where you're at. See how did it go for you? I'm feeling I'm losing my mojo. I don't know what it is. It's all good. I'm on vacation. I'm on my break. It's all good. It's all good. All right, here we go. Yeah, now see, I'm now here for the body. I'm shading the tree here, the shrubs dark and leaving the top light, and probably blending it softly. It's the circular motion. And this is more intermediate to advanced shading. I'm shading in circles. And I'm varying the pressure as it goes up. I'm lightening it up. As I go down, I'm darkening it, pushing it darker as it's closer to that edge. All right. All right, we've done with the first hour. All right, here we go. I think that's it. There's some other shading in the foreground. Let's see, let's share out, and then we'll get to some more advanced drawings. Let's see, ready for intermediate to advanced next hour. We've made it to the 8 o'clock hour. Thank you. If you'd like to share, feel free to share. If not, we can move on to another drawing. Or if you want to, all right. I'm glad you're getting that positive energy. I'm glad. I try to push that positive energy, because you know what, it is tough. Sometimes you're going along a challenge and it's like, oh my gosh, how do you do this? How do you do that? And it's you want to try to keep it going. Keep that positivity, especially when it's a struggle. It's like, oh my gosh. And that's okay. That's part of the practice. It's like, okay. And then you get it. And it's like, then it's not a problem anymore. All right. There we go. It went darker with my tail. That looks cool. I like it. Oh, you're welcome, Felicity. Have a great day. All right, if anybody, let me go to my gallery view and let's see if I see any hands. Nope. All right, let's see. Oh, there's Regina. All right, let's see. What you got?
Yeah, I made my landscape more just playing with shapes.
Oh, there you go. I love
Nice.
it.
Very creative.
There you go. That's great. Yeah, playing with the forms, and that's the good thing to do. Form is that next level. So Enoch, let's see. Thank you, Regina, for sharing. What you got? Oh, I got some color in there. Ooh, very nice. What color is that? Looks like it's on the pink side, purple side.
Watercolor pencil, pink. Yeah.
Oh, it is pink. Ah, very nice.
Right.
Sweet. Thank you for sharing. Let's go, Yelena. See what you got. Definitely the horses are coming out. A little better.
It is my first horse.
That's That's way more. We drew a cartoon when you got an advanced.
Wild horse.
That's very nice.
And my second one, I did not finish. I just
Oh.
started to
Very
coloring.
nice. Very nice.
That's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Regina. It's Yelena.
Yeah.
Yeah. Evita, what have you got? Oh, you're really dark. Let me see. Oh, it's dark. Your room is dark.
Is that dark? Okay.
And you're breaking
Let
up.
me, I'll be right back. I can show it.
All right. Okay. Ine, good to see you.
Yes, I haven't finished my background, but this is the, let me see.
Ah, there you
Oh,
go.
so cute. So
I
cute.
put like eyelashes.
Yeah.
if you-
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there was.
Yes.
That's great. All right, Zoom user, thanks for joining us. Thank you, Ine, for sharing. Let's go with Evita. That's it. Here we go. What you got?
Okay. I combined pretty much everything.
There you go.
Still working on the shading here. The bushes,
Yeah. Fantastic.
the work in progress.
No,
you so
definitely,
much.
definitely. Yeah, I know. Sometimes we need more time, but that's great. I can see. I like your composition too. I like the way that the horse is on the left and facing to the right. Yeah, so it's like looking into the open space.
That's why I decided to do the opposite kind of way.
Yeah. So you're thinking about composition and space. It's awesome. Yeah, definitely. It's good. Great. Thank you for sharing. All right, let's go with Kirsten. Kirsten, what do we got? Kirsten, you're gonna have to show your video. I can't share your spotlight. Kirsten, your hand is up. Kirsten Smith. Oh, there you go. Ah, all right. Hold on. Give me a second. Spotlight. It's on you. There you are. Oh, you got a cowboy.
Cowboy.
Nice. There you go. Sweet.
I love it. Got it, a cowboy.
Yes.
That's so clever.
Fantastic. Great storyteller. Oh, you froze it or something. I don't know how you did that. That's interesting. Okay, thank you, Kirsten, for sharing. Let's go with Marianne. There we go. Marianne, what you got? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, there's your background. Very nice.
Cute. Very cute.
Nice.
It's not the best, but here's a little
Oh.
pony. I feel like the
Great.
pony turned into a donkey a little bit.
Yeah, okay, I see it. Yeah, because the
Very cute.
this it doesn't taper. The nose doesn't taper. It kind of it's a little more parallel.
Oh, like it needs to be a little thinner.
Yeah, as it moves forward. Yeah, as it moves forward, just taper it a little bit more.
I see that.
It's not a big deal. I like the shading. I like that you're getting that roundedness, starting to get that roundedness on the shading.
Thanks. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to focus on is
Yeah.
shading.
Yeah, that's definitely intermediate to advanced. Definitely would like to maybe take that on. I don't know, maybe we can talk a little bit about it next hour.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, thank you for
Thank
sharing.
you.
All right, I think that's it. He's very happy looking donkey though. Somebody wrote in the chat. All right. Okay, let's do this. Let's talk a little bit about shading. Yeah, because even this, what I'm shading here in mine, let me remove spotlight. Here we go. The shading in mine. Where is mine at? Oh, here we go. Variety of values. Trying to get that variety of values and pushing stuff. And that's definitely more advanced. Yeah, because even starting off with this paper here, it's all really white. Even here, this is all really white. And working your pencil down really helps. Because this is definitely intermediate to advanced, getting the values. Let's see, let's spin the wheel one more time. It said robots. I'm going to do robots. I don't know if our robot person is here. Robots. We've done robots. We can do robot. Let me see. I like robots because we can go into form. We can do simple to advanced robots. Let's see, robot. Drawing. But I want to do shading as well. Let me share this because it's really just finding the right picture and we can talk about it. There we go. Yeah, because I see these here, but this one here in particular has values and shading and some form to it. And what's important, it's not really what you're drawing, it's what you're learning from it, right? The shading, the lights, the darks, because we can do something simple. Like this would be, if we were drawing this for the first hour, we would draw this as a robot. And a building too. I mean, a building, if we were to draw buildings, because that was some of the suggestions in our wheel. People suggested buildings. There's buildings in here, landscapes. Oh, there's landscapes, buildings. But when you're first starting out, this would be a good way to draw buildings, just like these square shapes. And then you get into more advanced stuff like this. And that one's actually, oh, it's a video. Time-lapse excerpt. Oh, look at this one. It's way over here. Oh, it's Jazza. Jazza's really good. Had a how to draw robots, mecha suit. There's Jazza. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, it can really get into it. He's not really talking through it. He usually talks. He's got this Australian accent. Jazza. This is Jazza. Yeah, he's just doing it. Doesn't really, it's not even breaking it down. Oh, there he is.
You could totally do. But for me, I just like the feel of pen and
That's
paper,
not Jazza.
holding that original art in your hand, knowing there's only this one, the basic shape.
So this is Jazza's website, but that's not him. I know Jazza. All right. Yeah, you can see how complex that one was. Let's close that. All right, so find one. Look at that. I want to find something with values to talk about shading. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. Yeah, look at these. Wow. Look at these. Yeah, so if you were to find one, yeah, look at this. This one has nice form on it. I like that one, and I like this one as well. We can do this one first, actually. Let's see. Let's do this one. And I don't know, is Matthew still here? Matthew, are you hitting the house? Oh. All right. Let's copy this image address. All right, let's put it in here. Practice drawing hat robot. It's a hat robot. It's like an IPC hat. All right, let's see. There it is. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Yeah, and this one we can talk about form on here, the different forms. We have cylinder forms. We have like a cone form here. Yeah, cylinder forms. I'm probably going to push the shading a little bit more than it is in here, but you can definitely see a light source from the top left. All right, let's just put this in the chat. Christy Wu, you have your hand up? Did
Yeah,
you want to share? Okay.
I'm sorry, kind of late.
Okay. Did you want to share or did you have a question?
I want to share.
Oh, okay. Oh, Matthew is here. I see him right there. Okay, go ahead. Put on your video first. I can't share.
Oh. Sorry.
It's okay. There we go. Let me see. There you go. You know, spotlighting. There you go. All right. Ooh, very nice. I like that size. Oh, you put more birds too. Sweet.
Oh,
Your
that's
values are
very
looking-
nice.
Yeah.
I think my horse is a little bit too big.
Too big? No, I don't think so.
Okay,
You change the scale, but it works.
it works. Okay.
Yeah, it works. It works. It's not like it's not like a giant horse in the.
I showed you the horse from last week.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, there you go. Wow, that reminds me of who's that artist? Because it's really lean. Looks really. Yeah.
My family has 3 of my family members are Year of the Horse. My son, my grandfather, and my ex-husband.
Oh, very appropriate. And there's oh, wow.
Whoa.
Do I need a darker pencil to make it darker?
You could maybe a little bit, but it's not a big deal.
Okay,
Yeah,
Very nice.
yes.
I think that's it. That's my ladybug.
She's happy.
That's a fun one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. All right. Okay, so we're gonna go with this robot. It's a challenging one. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Let's put it in the chat. We got 30 sketchbook heroes here hanging out for the second hour. Where's my chat at? Ah, here it is. But up for it. Ooh, that's pretty intense. Yes, but up for it. I'm glad you're up for it. There it is. It's in the, I don't know. I can put it up again. I'll put it up again. Share my screen again. I don't know. Should I break it down? I can actually, I can show you, the oval shape, one that you need to look for. That'll help make it, give it some form. Because this is definitely form. There's this oval shape right in here. That one, that oval shape.
Wow,
That's the
this
one.
looks very complex.
Yeah, it is very complex. But if we break it down, you can see the height and the width is pretty much here for the head is very
You
square.
okay?
Yeah, and it's, I'll try to simplify it. It is a little more complex. You can see the height and the width right in here. I'm gonna see that's perfect square right there. So it's actually a little bit thinner than a square. Let me go there. Let me move it over. I'm using a thick line right now. That's okay. It's actually better. But I almost see a square. Yeah, I can see it. Like if we go right to the top, it is a little bit wider. And that's a perfect square, and it does go a little bit wider. Actually, if I bring it down here, yeah. So I'm analyzing it. I am looking at it. There are these circle shapes here. I will break this down, triangle shapes. And this shapes here. Okay. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Are we ready? All right. Any questions before we get jumping on this? No. All right, cool. Let's get going on this one. Stop sharing. There we go. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start brand new with a brand new sheet of paper. Let's remove a spotlight. We had a spotlight. Let's see, here we go. Brand new clean sheet of paper. All right, I'm gonna draw this one pretty big. It is pretty square. It is pretty square. I do see it as a square, you know, and I can see the head like in this top part. It's smaller than that whole square because the feet are kind of, I'm sketching this in, and I'm gonna put the head a little bit of an oval shape for the head because I know it's a little wider. It's not perfectly the height and the width. The ratio is not 1:1. It's just slightly wider. So there's my head. My hand is going to be like right about here compared to that. There's that hand. It's circle shape. This one's a little bigger, a little bit closer. It's going to be right about there. All right. And then the feet, it kind of comes down and comes out of the triangle. Let me move this out of the way. There we go. This triangular foot comes out probably that far. There's a little bit of an angle up. And here there's like this shape there. And then this shape for this foot is there. There's overlapping. This goes under the hand a little bit. That foot, and then this comes out at these angles here, this triangular kind of shape there, with a slight angle. All right, so now I've just broken it down into its basic shapes. Its basic shapes, right? The construction part. So let's see. I usually go lighter than this, but I'm going darker so you can see it. So this is, I just do this. Before I wouldn't do this in my drawings because why am I doing this? It takes, why am I doing this extra work? But it really helps getting the structure of it and where everything kind of goes. Because here's the head. Here's the hand. I can see this hand here, and I can see how it all fits, and I can look back and forth and imagine what that robot's going to look right in here, right? It looked really complex, but if you look at the big shapes, now we can dig into the medium-sized shapes and into detail. Detail goes last, so we can go into the medium-sized shapes. Okay, so we got the head. We got one hand here. Notice all the fingers and everything just turned into a circle. This other hand is more of an oval. It's not really quite a circle shape. It does go more like that shape And then we've got this foot here and there, and I can already tell it's kind of looking solid as it's standing. It might lean a little more forward, but that's okay. And here's that oval. I'm gonna draw that oval right in here to give that a hat. That oval is gonna be right in there, that shape. Okay. So let's build this head, and then we'll go from there. And then we'll shade it. We'll really get into the shading on this one. And then we'll talk a little bit about shading a little bit more, because this one's going to actually have us give us a little more to shade as far as form and how light hits it. I can talk about all that stuff. So the hat kind of comes up and then it curves in. Then it goes straight up and around. So what this is a cone shape and a cylinder shape. Form. I did it. It's a form. I was looking at some really good videos on drawing form, but they were saying shape as well. It's form. There's a difference. All right. Okay. So I'm on this side of our form is they're like headphones. It's interesting, headphones on this robot. They look like headphones, but it's interesting. It's where the hands come out. So there's these circle shapes. There's a circle shape here, and it's what's interesting about it is it is a form, and they were like cylinder forms. So you have this circle shape here. And then in front of it is that cylinder, makes it into cylinder. It's kind of like a cylinder shape like that. And then there's another, and there's a slight taper to this one. So it's more like a cone, but it's still a cylinder. Another circle shape right about there. Now this one is more complex. So I'm still doing kind of like the what do you say, the underdrawing, the blocking end. Here we go. I'm just putting stuff where I think it kind of goes. I'm not worrying about detail. I'm really just seeing the big stuff. Up here, there's a cube. This cube, there's 3 lines, 1, 2, and 3. And then there's the tops. There's a slight angle. It goes up and then it comes down very slightly. Goes up and then down very slightly. And then that's kind of attached, goes over the top. Let's do the eyes. It is off center. It is a 3/4 view. It is a 3/4 view. So if we see the middle of it, this is the middle of the shape here, this form. It is off that side. So it's on this side, this line that I drew right here. Actually right off that middle is where that eye is going to go, this eye. And it's this shape here. We're going to go down here. And they're using a downward shape, which makes it look angry. The angry eyes. And it's like a letter D shape, this D shape. Watch that angle. And then the bottom is like circled like that right there. There's that shape. This is the eye there, that one. This one is not as angled. It's smaller on the left. Right in there. And I'm drawing the outside part. So this is the outside part. If you drew it too small, you can always draw the outside part. Everything else is going to go inside. For myself, it's going to go inside this shape. All right. There's my eyes. Let's see how they're lining up. It's good to kind of see how they line up. It is a little smaller. This one on the left is a little smaller than the one on the right. All right. And then Matthew's been patiently waiting. We'll draw what I think we're going to draw because you've been patiently waiting. I think I saw you in the house right now. We're going to draw the, let's see which one. The one yes, that one. The Pinterest one, the Kaiju number 8. We'll draw that one next. Since we're on this heavy duty robot thing. That actually would go next. Kaiju number 8. It will go next. So I don't know what time it is where you're at. And this is a drawing by Ooze, EWZ, looks like 27. I don't know what it is. I'll have to give him props. Okay, so I'm still blocking stuff in. Right in between this hat shape is this kind of like an oval shape. It's a oval. It's actually cylinder shapes. Okay, so what this is the same thing as this cylinder. So if this were to continue, let's try it outside. This would be like an oval shape here, and then it's a cylinder shape. That cylinder shape. There we go. That's it. So this cylinder shape is what's happening in here. So it's kind of got a round bottom, and then it's a cylinder shape. All right. And the cylinder shape, kind of like a tire shape of a tire. And what's happening, there's overlapping on this side with the leg. This leg comes out from right in here, fits right in there like that. And then over here, there's some overlapping. So this this tire shape behind that, coming out like that, is this part of the, there we go. And you can see I'm breaking it down. I'm ignoring all the little detail. I'm really ignoring all the detail. I'm trying to capture the form. And then on top of that is where I build this robot. I might have to bring these legs up a little bit, looks like. I don't know, we'll see as I'm going. All right, that's looking good. That's looking good. The other ear headphone on this side sticks out. And again, it's that tire shape. It's that same tire shape. Okay, so he's repeating it. So here we go. Let's go on this side. Little did you know we were going to drawing robots tonight. I didn't know we were going to draw robots thanks to the wheel. Wheel decide. The wheel of fortune. And it doesn't matter. If you like robots, hey, fantastic. That's great. If you don't, hey, we're learning about form. We're learning about shading. And taking on something complex, breaking it down. And no matter what you draw, that's what we do. We break it down. Anything. Even the hard stuff. It looks complex, somebody said. Yeah, it looks hard. But we break it down. And hopefully you're following along, catching it. If not, you're trying. If I don't explain it, you can blame me. But hey, oh, it's just like my story. The easy story, easy. My easy idea. That's my story from my book. Oh, here it is. There, my movie idea. Teenage boy wishes the world was easier. He gets his wish, but realizes he still has to work hard. Instead of DW40, it's DW39. And that's a true story. Actually, a DW40 is because the formula took at least 40 tries. DW, and there's other examples like that. A lot of examples like that.
I thought you were talking about oil. DW.
Yeah, it is. DW40 is a
lubricant.
Yeah, the lubricant. Yeah, it is a lubricant. Yeah, same thing with the Model T. There was other models in front of it, but Model T is the one that they. And same thing with the light bulb. The light bulb, he tried thousands of different things. Trial and error, iterations. Okay, let's see. And then, finally found what worked. I mean, he says, isn't it a failure? All those failures? And he goes, no, now I know 1,000 things that don't work. Okay, so here this hand is complex. All right, let me try to break this hand down. There's the thumb, and it is very cube-like, very cube-like. So I'm going to try to keep that. I'll sketch in the shapes first, and then I'm going to do the form on top of it. So the shapes, that's what I'm going to do. So the shape, there's like an oval shape for the thumb there, and then there's this other oval shape for that thumb as it comes down that way. And then there's 1, 2, 3, fingers, 3-finger shapes can kind of come back up like that at that angle. There's a little bit overlapping there, so I'm put it underneath like that. And I already know how big it's going to be with that my first circle that I drew. So I'm kind of just making it fit in there, not worrying about anything else. And then there's this other part that's another cube in here. So I'm going to draw this other kind of like a rectangular shape right in there, right in there. Now I have my shapes here. Now I want to make it into a form, 3-dimensional form. So what they are using, they are using their understanding of cube shape. So we're going to start from the top of this. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see what's happening with the hand there. Okay, so, and it's all angles. There's a slight angle here, and it's very cube has all these straight edges. So, and this comes down at this angle, right? Like that. And then there's shading. That's where the shading, there's that line here. Let me put that line here. Keep it light. I'm going to do the shading in there. There's a value change. And then this finger comes down like that. And it's a lot more round. It's rounded, but I want you to see this this form here like that. Let me see. Oh, I need to spotlight myself. So here we go. There we go. All right. So this is kind of like a cube. This Y shape. So you see that Y shape? That's just this Y shape right there. And then cubes are parallel like that. See how I just did that here on that side? And then see this angle here? You would have this angle there and then that angle there. That's why learning to draw these forms, learning to see them. And this could have been a building. And we're talking about the same thing, angles. Top, bottom, point of view. It looks like the point of view, if I had to say where my eye level is, it's up here somewhere because you're looking down on this finger. Although, almost looks like you're looking up at it too. No, well, the hand could be facing down. Yeah, no, you're still right in here. Definitely the eye level is going to be somewhere right in here. Something to think about in this area right in there. It's definitely not above here because this curves and you're looking up. So I would actually honestly probably say this is my eye level right in here actually, because we're looking down here. This is our clue. That's it. That's our clue. So our eye level is going to be somewhere in here. Let's continue with that hand. All right. So sending messages. Should turn this off. All right, here we go. All right, so we have the thumb. The thumb is that shape, and everything else is kind of rounded off of that. You have the top and the front, and then everything else kind of like rounded. I'm gonna round it out, round the bottom, and then here. I don't want to get too detailed, but there is all these little details. Like here, and it's not well defined. It's kind of just they understand form. And up here, there is a cylinder, another tire shape. I'll call them tire shapes. Another cylinder right in there, right at the top. But it does blend it in. I am making it more specific. And all these fingers in here, we're gonna just block them in. There we go. A little bit of spacing. I really like the boldness of his line. He understands form and he just, he sketches. This is like a sketch. There it is. I made this a little bit thicker.
Wow, so hard.
All right, yeah. All right. Feliz Pascua. Happy Ostera. Good Pesach. Thank you, Demi. Happy bank holidays to all. Jetson Robot. Oh, does anybody know? I know the name of the Jetson Robot. Does anybody else know the name of the Jetson Robot?
Rosie.
Rosie, that's it. Rosie the robot.
Here comes the Jacksons.
Is
Oh, I'm old. I
She-
love the Jetsons. Still
Yeah,
remember them, and they were
those are
old when
fun.
I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
I am old.
Oh, stop it.
That and Green Acres.
It's just a number. Yeah. Green Acres is the place to be. All right, so there's slight angles here for these fingers. There's a slight angle this way, and then it goes back. Just like regular fingers, it's understanding these angles. See this angle here? It's almost horizontal, and then it goes up. Here, there's light and shade. I'm gonna do that when I do my shading, I guess. Well, I'm doing it lighter. There's this part of the finger. Wow, this is really complex, and we're gonna get shade this. We're gonna be here for a while. Let me try to get through this really quickly. Then I don't know. I can go fast. I don't want to. Let me see. So that finger, and then all this is in shade. There's this big old darkness in here. All right. Let's go with this, all this in here, it's shaded. And that's one thing. When I am shading or actually going into values, I see where my darks are, where all my darks are, like all these dark areas, all these dark shapes. And see how dark that is. You can see these dark shapes in here, and then all this is kind of like in the dark as I'm
Can you
shading.
lift it up a little bit?
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. You know, that in the dark, this dark shape, and then even shading this whole background, so this makes the fingers pop more. And as I come up in here, I'm going to shade this slightly. Yeah, all this in there is shaded. I'm getting it not as dark as that part. All right. This front of the finger is a little bit darker than the this side of the finger. Actually, it's not the front. And he does leave a little bit of light right at the top of that. He gets this shape right in there, that shape. Right in there. Yeah, it's definitely a little more pencil work than usual. Yeah, I like the smoothness of pencil. And I do also like the texture of a pen. Actually, most of the year, most of the drawings that I've been doing have all been in pen. It was interesting that one of the first times I did a pencil one, on this program, is I needed to erase. It's all right. Okay, so I don't know what's going on here. It looks like there's another little like joint or something, but I'm gonna shade this just slightly darker. And that's the thing is knowing what you want the contrast, like this thumb here, this thumb weight sticks out. I know I want the background to be darker so it pops. So, and then this side is dark on this side, especially right at that edge. All right. And then here is a little pack. This pack is actually part of his foot. Should it be further back? Ooh, it should be further back. I'm looking at it now. I think I did this. Uh-oh. I think I need to, yeah, I'm gonna move this back. Oh, well. Yeah, I don't like where it's at now. I just noticed. See, I get to erase here. Right in here, because this is part of the foot. It looks like it floats there. I think I did my arm a little further out. Yeah, I did. I'm looking at it now. That's all right. The arm's sticking out a little more than it should. I'll bring this back. I'm gonna leave this space here and make that the wrist and say, hey, that was intentional. It's an accident. So I'm going to bring this shape back. This shape should moving it back. Because here's the leg. This actually, this part right here, this little square rectangle shape. It's actually a cube. And there's that side, and then there's the bottom. Right in there like that. And then it's attached to this leg here. All right, so there's a circle shape. Let's go into shapes. There's this shape here. Like that. And this shape here. Like that. And then in here is another tire shape. Okay, we're gonna have a tire shape. So it's a circle shape. Like that. Notice these angles. Okay, so here's my rectangle, and then there's these angles here coming forward. Notice the angles, and then here the angles are coming back. This is very complex. Yeah, it's complex. I'm really trying to fight to simplify it for everybody. There's that one, there's that circle. And really, this is just a circle inside a circle, the way it's facing us. Like that, like a donut. And then when we go to shade it, it'll help give it more form. Like that. There we go, that's looking good. Just like that. And then here another circle inside that circle, because this side of the foot is facing us. So it's still the same, it's kind of like point of view, that circle right there. That's looking good. Let's zoom out. Oh, actually, should we zoom out yet? Let's focus on the foot. All right, here we go. So here I had it a little bit higher. I'm going a little bit lower, so it's going to look thinner. So I need to just ratio wise, I'm probably bring it down a little bit. But this is still a cube, but the cube has a little bit, the angles pointing down more. So just like it is up here, this cube up here, that's what's happening here, right? You have the top, the front, but everything's kind of, instead of being like this, it's tilted. It's tilted. That's what's happening there. Right. And so the same top, now it tilts less, but there is a curve right in there in that top part of the foot. Like that. And it gets lost. There's a lot of little things that are getting lost in here. So this is not exactly. It blends things out. So I've got that shape, and notice how it tapers as well. Here's a tapering shape. It goes thicker and then it gets thinner, slightly thinner as it goes out.
I should have reminded you.
All right. And then we'll draw the base to it.
I should have reminded you.
Bring this square here. Just bring it out. Actually, bring it down. All right. Woo. All right. What time is it? Now 8:46. Yeah. This is taking a while. Oh, I didn't show it. Let me zoom out and we'll do the next leg. All right, here we go. And there we go. All right. If Matthew's still here at 9, I'm going to definitely draw that other character. Is he still here? I don't know. Oh, he's been hanging out. I think we'll draw it. Oh, he is here. There he is. I see him. All right. We're down to 20. Yeah, it's definitely a little complex. Okay. Let's see how you guys do. Taking on this challenge. I know somebody said they're not a hero. I know there's different levels. I mean, it's hard to compare yourself to somebody who saved somebody's life. That's a true hero. But stepping outside your comfort zone, taking on challenges, that's also a hero, because you're not stepping outside your comfort zone and taking on a challenge to save somebody's life, but it's almost there. All right. Okay, so I said, I was continuing on the head. Sometimes I just move around from place to place. So I was going from this foot, which I think should be a little bit wider as it comes down. That's okay. The top of the head. So there's this front part, kind of like the front of this cube here. And then it curves the top. There's a slight curve. Actually, let's just watch that angle. Actually, I'm gonna try to keep it straight. And then it goes back. And then the handles. And what he does, he just does it thick, a thick top to it. And there's a thick line. And on the other side as well. Let me zoom in and show it. There it is. And that's this other shape that's right there. So it's almost like two cubes. So you have a cube here and then two other little cubes. So this is, but it's more of a top view. So what's happening is you have this one cube, which you don't see the top of because of your point of view. It's our eye levels down here. And then you have another cube that's like right next to it. That's a little bit smaller. And I know this because I've drawn stuff like this before and how these cubes kind of go together. There we go. See something like that's what's happening. And then this back side of the cube. And he knows it too. And he's drawn it, and he's actually just doesn't even think, because he actually gets lost in the sketch. The form gets lost in the sketch. He really, really loosens it up, really loose. I'm doing it a lot more clearer, which is just to show you the drawing. All right, let's do the leg and the other hand. The leg and the other hand, and then we're done. The shading. Oh, Matthew's still here though. So, all right, now I'll just talk a little bit about the shading, because shading is probably all right. Let's do this other foot. The other foot is underneath this hand, so we got to be aware of that. It's going to go under this hand. So here's this here. There's this same as this rectangle on this left side, but it's closer to us. So it's going to be a little bit bigger. This foot is facing us. And it's this one is more square. This one's more square, a square shape right in there. On the side, right there. And it's rounded. I am simplifying it, or yeah. That's it. All right. And there's shadows and stuff underneath. Now here, this is where this tire shape, on this side it's facing us, and on this side it's more of an oval shape, right? So you're definitely a cylinder. So I'm gonna get that oval shape in there, bring it down a little bit more. That oval shape, more Ovaltine, please, right there. And now that's old. More Ovaltine, please. All right, and it does stick out. Oh, I did it too close. Yeah, that's all right. I'm gonna stick it out a little bit. Yeah, get that tire shape. I should have been a little further, a little more to the left. That's all right. Why don't we fix it? Yeah, sometimes you just accept it, but yeah, we'll just accept it. There we go. There's that side, and it's almost like a volcano on its side. This shape here. It's tire shape. So yeah, drawing a cylinder. So there's a lot of cylinders, a lot of cubes in this form. Kind of like cones, because this does kind of like cone out and curve. So it's definitely a marriage of various forms put together. It's like a sphere and a cylinder and a cone put together. So there's that tire. Then it's attached to this hood, kind of like that comes down, then comes up, and then across. Actually, probably slight angle to it, but there is a thickness to it because there's shadow, and then down like that. And this would be this form here, this form there, but there's a hand that's going to be in front of it. That hand, it would be that form there. Now I'm going to go ahead and draw the, this is like a pyramid shape. So this angle here and this angle here tapers. That's the top. Curves there a little bit there for some reason. And then I've got music playing in the background. I forgot about that. That's from a game. And then, I'm sorry. And then this triangle shape. There we go, that triangle shape. This triangle shape. This one's really complex robot. All right, we're down to 18. Yeah, this one really got tough. All right, so he's got some kind of at this angle here, he's got some like tread or something. It comes up that way, and there's a little bit of a ledge here too. All right, I'm just gonna sketch all over this right now. Okay. Yeah, those are the basic form. Here, see the angles, trying to capture that form. And then here, this form you have on the hand. The hand has this cube shape. These fingers are all kind of like this one rectangle, like that rectangle that overlaps the foot right there. There's that one rectangle, and then the thumb also kind of facing us is this other this shape that tapers, a little bit of overlapping. That's the part that faces us, and then it kind of curves slightly. Actually, I would probably put an oval shape like that there. And then here's the hand. Should be bigger. I feel like it should be bigger. Here's the wrist. Going in there. And here's another tire shape, but this time it's facing up. The oval is in that direction like that. And then it's the back part of the wrist. Let's put the arm in there. The arm is attached to it, to this right in here at that angle. Yeah, it's definitely got really complex really quick. This is definitely intermediate to advanced. If you're hanging in there, great. Hang in there. And that's the thing, going down with your ship, take it to the end. I'm already kind of like doing shading.
We're hanging on like a Titanic.
That's great. With the music, that trio, or was it a trio, or who was it? That little orchestra.
Yeah, trio.
Yeah, they
Bass, violin, and a brass.
yeah.
Cello.
Cello. All right. That's good because you're taking on these challenges. What's important is the concepts, how I broke it down. And if you get lost somewhere, it's okay. It's about the practice. There's a lot of detail in here that I'm missing that I can actually do pretty quickly if I just do it without talking about it. But I want to talk about it. Here I'm breaking it down this side into the three fingers. 1, 2, 3. The ones that are facing us. Yeah, because there's a lot of things happening in here. Very complex, really interesting. And I don't think this finger attaches itself. And the thickness of line too, really nice use of thickness of line. All these thick lines. All right, that's the drawing. That's the drawing. I'm going to zoom out and then I'm just going to go in there. Oh, zoom out. There it is. And then I'm going to go ahead and add all the details. It's really the details that kind of like even push this further. Okay, so that's more or less the the structure. This is, well, it's detailed structure.
It's so hard, so challenging.
Yeah, this one is. This one is. I'm gonna go ahead and you know what? We can actually lose some of the stuff. So because I put a lot more detail into it. I'm gonna show you by thickening some lines. And you can actually right on top of this follow along and maybe even fix some of this stuff. All right, so let's see. I'm going to focus on the face and let's focus on the face for a while. And if even if we just did the face and not did anything else, that would be you know, it's as fine as a sketch because it doesn't have to be finished. It's a sketch. All right. So I'm going thick with the line around in here. And there's a little bit of an angle. So I can push this line out a little bit more. There's that thick line right there. I'm going to put a little bit of a shade in here. This just a slight shade right in there. That part of that tire shape. And I'm put a little bit of a shade on this side too as it comes up. That form. And there too. Now here, this eye here. There is the inside of it. So the thickness goes right in here and right in there. There's a little bit of a drop shadow or a shadow that drops right in there. Kind of like it looks like a backward 7, like a backward 7 right in there like that. But I'm going to make it a little bit more closed. And same thing on the other side, since we're doing that, this is backward 7, it's still going to be the same backward 7. You have this thickness of the shadow, and then it curves in.
Oh, that side.
It's backward 7. Right there. Yeah, it's just a lot of detail. There's a bar down the center coming out here. And then there's two stripes that go right against that. Now this is where the shading, there's shading on here. This is really complex. All right, I should, it's definitely more advanced. Now what's happening here is the light, there's light that's hitting this cylinder. And we need to definitely talk about that light bouncing on the side. On form. All this is shaded. It is rounded. There, here it goes a little bit darker on this side. There's something like that. Goes a little darker on that side. And right at that ridge. Comes up a little bit. There we go. Now underneath here, that first oval that I kind of drew, that is dark right there. There's a little bit of a lip on this side, like a bell shape. And all this is under here is darkness, and there's a lot more detail, a lot of the detail. So another little tire shape right underneath right here. I'm going to draw that oval. Yeah, a lot of detail. Maybe we bit off a little more than we could chew, but it's all right. It's 9:03. Sometimes I get lost in a drawing. You can get lost in a drawing. Definitely happened tonight. Yeah, I get lost in this drawing. And it's really quick. I mean, oh my gosh, I'm looking at this and it's like, you can see how you just really just shading, putting in values like really quickly. This dark value in here. Some of the details just like quick line. Little shade in here. Another shade in here. Actually, there's designs on this piece. All right. So on this foot right here, you want to try to keep the top a little bit of a highlight right at the top, and then I'm shading around it as I bring all this shade down for this whole foot. This whole side of this foot is shaded all the way up to that that circle here, the circle right there, like that. But I tried to keep that little like piece of moon right there. And then all this in a shade. Oh, let's bring it up. All this one shade right there. And then going darker underneath. Right here underneath this tire shape, circle shape. Going darker over here. Actually, making it thicker. And then underneath, keeping the top light, and then underneath it goes darker, slightly darker than this background as it comes up and around this way, like that. And that gives it that form right here. See, it's thick on this side. Woo. Well, we'll see how everybody did. The next one's gonna be a tough one too. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I don't have to get up tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that. You're gonna leaving us. Somebody say good night. Thanks so much, Laura. The way you break things down makes so much sense, less intimidating. Take care. All right, good night. Everyone, see you next.
I would like to
Yelena. Oh, I know Yelena. Here, hold on. Let me spotlight you before you go.
I don't know.
Wow.
Awesome. Okay. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much. See you next time.
You're welcome. All right, see you next time. Bye, Yelena.
Good night. Good night, Elena.
Bye.
Awesome. Love your robot. Wow, she was fast.
Yeah.
She's a pro.
It's like midnight over there right now, where she's at, or 11 or midnight. I don't know. Okay, Google, what time is it in Vermont?
It's 3 hours difference.
United States. It's 12:08 a.m.
It's 12:08. Yeah, it's 12:08. Let's see. It's 12:08. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, where am I? All right, let's focus. Did I spotlight myself again? There we go. There we go. All right.
Okay, I only have the body.
You have the body? Half the body?
Yeah, I don't have the left side.
You don't
down.
have the left side, this side?
The other side.
Oh, the other side. Yeah. I don't know. All right. This other side, yeah, I haven't really done
Yeah.
that side either. This side here, no, I haven't really focused
I
on it
haven't-
too
I
much.
haven't drawn anything on that
Oh, you
side.
haven't drawn in there yet? Oh, okay.
Have
Let
to
me
catch
zoom
up.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot more work than I thought. I mean, I could see the forms, but then it's just putting all the detail in and how it all kind of comes in.
Yeah.
Definitely quite a bit of work here. There's another circle here. About there. I'm just trying to get it to fit. It's almost like a button. I'm not even gonna worry about it. Shade it in. And we can simplify. There's along those form, understanding that form. That's where practicing the form, drawing these cylinders, drawing this tire right here that I drew. And you can see how this artist constructed it. And he was inspired probably by the hat at first, and then headphones, and then just started drawing all these forms on top of it. Even in here, he's shading these lines that I put on this hat. I have them dark, but in the drawing, they're light. They're white lines. So I would probably try to keep the white lines. I would do the drawing. I just lost it. Little drawing on top, and then shade in between, drawing on top, and then shade in between, so I can have white lines instead of, but I just lost one. I'm not gonna worry about it. Oh, and this side's all dark on this side. This side's darker. The light's coming from the left. He's aware of where his light's coming from, his light source. And there we go. Top left. Here, just shade all this, go a little bit darker. Bring in a little bit of an inside circle on this side. Because it's like a volcano, this shape in here. Well, the horse was simple. I think we did that in a half an hour. This one's definitely, we've already over an hour on this one. All right, it's all good. There's a lot of little things going on here. I'm simplifying. Yeah. And we'll keep drawing. There's this texture, and there's a little bit of a ridge that I'm kind of losing. I simplified it too much, but I can actually kind of like get it in there just by suggesting it. There's a little bit of a ridge, building it out a little bit. And this texture in here. Now shading form. Yeah, just like in here, I would probably shade, yeah, and it is shaded without even looking. I would shade this side because it's facing in a different direction. Let's see. That whole thing right here, this part right here is one that's shaded in it because it's in a different direction. What can I say about form? Yeah, here it is, this form, this tire form. I don't really see any reflected light. All right, go thicker with his leg, bringing it down. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. There's more kind of like shapes in here. I'm going to just throw them in there like that and darken it up. Just hide it. Dark lines. He's using ink or some kind of, it could be digital, but it's definitely some kind of a thick brush, different size brushes. And even like this in the background here, he's got a variety of thick and thin, where this like bush or this like little bouncing shape goes from thin to thick and then back to thin again, and like that in the background. It's kind of really interesting. Really good control of. Oh, Yelena got it. That's awesome. That's awesome. It's not easy. It's not easy. And it's a robot, so you know, it doesn't have to be exact. It's like, oh, it's my robot. But it's understanding the structure. So maybe I can even break it down even further, like right here, right now. Drawing it once and then I can break it down. Let me see. Let me zoom out. Yeah, here we go. Put another piece of paper. Oh, I need a light table. But it basically was like this bell shape here, like this bell shape. But it's understanding form, understanding form. Yeah. Simplified even more. Something like that. Yeah. All right, well, let's just do it. But you can see the form here. And then how would you shade this form? Hey, imagine. Right, shade all around it right here, this whole top part right there. And then this finger actually is light right there, and then it goes dark. Let me zoom in. Yeah, because this top part is dark. And then here, there's some kind of like light source right in there. Then it goes into dark like in the middle, but it fades out. And then there's all this little detail, this thick line. Add some curves to it. There's like these little brackets. And actually go lighter right at the tips. All right. So yeah, this advanced stuff, I'm going to try to keep it a little more separate. We'll do this on a separate night and then keep the beginning on a different night. So that way, yeah, it'll be better. I don't feel so. All right, there's a really thick line on this side. Really thick. And then even the palm kind of sticks out a little bit. The palm, the back of this palm shows just slightly. Just shade it off. There's more joints on this, like little brackets on this side. There were some on that side too, but I didn't really draw them too well. And the circle's darker right in there. All right, a little bit of shading on this side right there. Slight shade. Thickness. All right. And then there's the tread. There's like a tread on the bottom of his feet. Something like that. Then it blends into the background. Oh, his shadow. We put a shadow back here. And then there's there is a shape here. And actually, can't see that. There's a shape here. It goes up at that angle, and then it comes across the top like that.
Yeah.
There are highlights and stuff in here. I'm just simplifying it. It does. It says shaded here. And this triangle on the left is a little bit darker. Yeah, like that. I would probably shade this all a little bit, just to push it back a little bit. And then in here, there's some shading as well. Push it in with some texture. There's lines going across. Yeah, I'm simplifying it a lot. There's some design on here on this knee pad. It's got like a little square with a triangle on it, with two little stripes like on its forehead. And then there's a little bit of shading. Actually, ooh, there's a triangle. And then the shading right underneath that design. Put it on the other side as well. See all these little details. Once you see the form, then the details just go on top of the form, right? But that's the thing. You want to see the form first. Once you see the form, then everything else just kind of goes on top of it. You can see like this angle here, that angle, I'm going with that same direction. And then the triangle here at the bottom. There you go. See how it all fits on that form. Oh, you didn't see it. Let me just, because I was too, there we go. This, I just did this right here. These the detail that goes on the form. Yeah. Let's see. This thumb is attached. There's other detail that I missed. I'm going to add a shadow and call it. No, here's a little bit of shade on this leg and this foot right here. Slight shade. And yeah, and then the shadow underneath. I'm going darker than he is. It's got a shadow on this side. So let me bring my shadow out as well. On this left side, on the right side. And try to get it going in the same direction. Bring it up a little bit more. Watch out for that tangent. I could have stopped it right there, but you see, you'll be noticing tangents. Sometimes you're like, oh my God, tangent. That's not a big deal. Just notice them and change them if you can. If you can't, well, just let it go. Oh, there it is. Especially when you're just sketching. It's just a sketch. It's not a big deal. All right, I think that's it. I can let me see. There it is. It doesn't look too bad.
That's
Yeah,
amazing, Eladio.
Oh.
That's really good.
Oh. Thanks. Yeah, so it's just bringing it. This is definitely more advanced. Definitely, there's a lot of form. So it's understanding form, practicing the form, watching your angles. Yeah. So we'll see how you guys did. Trying to break it down. There we go. Yeah.
Are you using pencil only or pen?
Only pencil today. HB. I'm using an HB drawing prang.
Oh.
HB prang outline drawing pencil. No pen.
No pen.
No pen. No pen today. So here's the cube. You know, it's understanding where the light's coming from. So the top is going to be light. The front can be a little bit shaded. Especially right where the edges, you really want to, you can actually get away with just shading like that difference right where the edges, and then just bringing it out. But really where the edges are, your eye is, I guess, over evolution. Important to see where the edges are, and then just get everything else, you just get lost. Like right where the edges, I can go dark again right in here, up in here, and then just bring it out. Because I'm actually going just as dark on this side. on this cube. So it's how do you shade form, right? I'm exaggerating slightly, but you can see this white up here and this white down here. But it's right where the edge is. You want to show that difference. And then you're getting closer to what's called a rendering instead of a drawing. Rendering is just that next level. I wouldn't have to shade on my background if I was working with a toned paper. And all this stuff back here too, I can actually really quickly push this back around a little bit more. This makes this pop right here. This part right here pops a little bit more because I shaded this background really quickly. That front, and creates a contrast. Zoom out. There we go. All right. All right. Matthew's been waiting patiently. We're gonna we can share, or we can actually we're gonna draw that the Pinterest. Let's draw that one. Yeah. It's actually pretty basic shapes. And the same thing. It's just seeing the basic shapes and then all the detail and getting all the detail to fit right. I don't know if anybody would like to share. If you'd like to share your drawings, this was a challenging one. I see Christy's hand up. We have 14 people hanging out.
Not quite ready. Christy's
okay,
not quite ready.
That's fine. Actually, okay, I can take a break. We can take a break. Why don't I pause and we can take a break? I know there's a lot. There's a lot to this one.
Leave your picture up, please.
Yeah, I'll leave it up. Pause recording, resume recording. We're going to be doing this drawing here next. This is the Kaiju number 8. Is that what it is? All right. So a lot of stuff happening, but we can break this down into actually basic shapes. Zoom out a little bit. There we go. All right, so there's a circle shapes, some circle shapes here. Oh, we're losing some of, yeah, it's all good. We'll see you next week. I know it's scary. It's late. I don't want to get scared. I'm going to have nightmares. All right, it's all good. We'll see you next week. Let me see, annotate. Let's see. There we go. So if I put a circle here, you can see this kind of oval shape right in there. That one, and then another oval shape right in here. Actually, if we really, let me move it over. Right in there, a little scary. There we go. Kind of in there, and that shape in there too. All right, so we'll be drawing this, and then what makes it look difficult is all the detail, right? All the detail. So let's see if we can break it down for you. Let's delete all that. Let me copy this. I think I can. Let's see, clear all drawings. Right click, copy image address. There we go. Paste it. Ooh, big. There we go. So if you want to screenshot it, feel free to screenshot. Let me put it in the chat. We have 6. We're going long time today. This is actually the longest we're going to be going because we're starting. It's barely 9:41. It's already 9:41, I would say. All right, let's see. We'll put it in the chat. Great one. Thanks for another great night and drawing life lessons. Oh yeah, life lessons. Gonna go crash into bed and dream of stealing art. All right, Brianne. Bye, Brianne. And here we go. There's in the chat. All right, we got Jane, Lily, and Damaris, and Matthew, Christine. What else we got? We got 6. Oh yeah, I'm one of them. There we go. All right, here we go. So we're going to draw this one and break it down. I'm going to stop sharing. Here we go. So there's our robots. This is a tough one. This one's actually easier than the robot, believe it or not. This one looks more difficult and intimidating, but it's actually not as difficult. It's simple shapes. So, all right. So we're going to start off with that. Kind of like an oval shape. It's a little bit of an oval shape. I'm gonna just block out, block everything
Before you
out.
start, can I get a screenshot first? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, screenshot of the picture we're drawing?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me again share. There we go.
Oh, that's scary. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
There we go.
Chinese characters. Chinese and Japanese character.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna break it down. I really
Thank
like
you.
the yeah, you're welcome. I really like the other one. Let me see the other one. That one. It's in the wheel. It's in here somewhere. Oh, that one is that one came up. I know it's in here in the wheel, actually. It's at the bottom. Still live.
Oh, is it Wheel of Fortune?
Yeah. It's one of these. I like that as far as the structure and stuff, but we're gonna do this one because it's yeah, it's late. The other ones I'll keep on. We'll see. I just lost it. Oh, here's the Still Like an Artist book. I'll put this in the chat. Stop sharing. Put it in the chat. Here we go. Robbie Robot. Mr. Robinson. Where'd he go? Is that it? Oh yeah, there it is. All right, there we go. Okay, so I've got my oval shape, or you actually can even start off with a circle. Starting off with a circle is fine. Sketching it right there. And then off on top of that, just like any face drawing, that comes off of that right in here like that. It's almost like another, like we're drawing a face. Well, we are drawing a face, but there we go. That shape, that other egg shape. And then the teeth. All right, so I'm going to make a space for the teeth. I'm trying to see the shape kind of, the teeth are going to fit in this space in there like so. Let me zoom in a little more right there. This right in there, all these wonderful teeth right in there. And that's it. We're done. Good night. Thank you for coming. There we go. All right. So that's basically it. That's why I say it's okay. So now the nose, draw the nose. It's like a triangle shape right in here. Notice how it fits. Notice how everything kind of fits. Watching the negative space, and also I guess drawing faces helps. We've gone over the proportions of a face. Just angle here, angle here. All this is just really just the structure. This angle here, the structure, and I'm going to just build on top of that. So right where that nose is, right at the top, a little bit of space, kind of straight across, and then the eyes are these kind of like these shapes here. Down to the nose. They're kind of a tear shape. That's what it is, tear shape. It's a circle on the bottom, and then the top is a little more down like that. So this one is that circle shape, and then you have this break like that. There it is. And then the top part is broken into a line right there and this line right in there. Huh. It reminds me of a Japanese mask. Bring those horns up from here. That's pretty good. All right, so you should have that structure. And if you feel free to make adjustments, kind of have to look back and forth, and make adjustments as you're drawing. All right, let's see where we're gonna go next. All right. Okay, I'm looking at my spacing. I'm looking at all the space, how everything fits together. So you should be doing that too, looking back and forth, looking at my drawing, look at your drawing, and making sure your structure is there. And then everything else is just detail. The detail is just decorating this structure. Okay, so here we go. All right, so let's start off with his left eye. I like where it's at. I like the size of it. There is a little bit of an inside, So in here, I'm going to add a little bit of an inside line. It kind of comes in like that. I am rounding it out a little bit more and simplifying it. There's little angles and stuff, but I'm not worrying about those. This gives you a ridge, and that ridge is more gives it more of a three-dimensional look. Right in the center is a little W almost right in here. Goes up. Trying to keep it symmetrical. I didn't do my symmetrical lines, but if you want get a symmetrical line in there, that'll help keep it symmetrical. This eye comes up and goes in, and this is where there's a glowing eye on this side. So I want to try to keep the glowing eye. I'm making a little circle there like that. And then around that circle, I'm going with another circle like that. And then around that circle, I'm going a little bit further out and darken all of that. I'm going to darken all that up. And again, we need a ridge on this side as well. So I'm going to bring it up. Let me do the ridge first. I'm just bringing it in just slightly. And then and just shade all this darkness. I'm going to shade all the darkness. We'll get the eyes in. I usually don't. Well, depends. When you're first learning, I try to do all the shading last. I'm going as we're going. We're doing it. So let's just do it. Be water. Like Bruce Lee says, be water, my friend. Okay, so in this eye, it is, I'm going to shade it almost black, almost as the other side, but it's in the center. It's pretty dark, but it's not really black. It's not as dark as my pencil can get. It actually goes darker at the ends, at the sides. Now I'm going to push it just a little bit darker now. Try to keep the center because it goes a little bit lighter. It's almost like glowing inside the eye. If I go outside and just push it a little bit harder. Yeah, I could get it. It's hard to see. Oh yeah, you can see it. Let's see a little bit. Yeah, if I hold it at a tilt, you can see how the center. I need to soften that up. Soften this up, but it goes lighter as it goes in. There we go. All right, I think we got the eyes. On this side, I'm going to add there's a little ridge to it. There's a lot of little detail. I am simplifying some of it. I'm not exactly copying it. I'm just showing you where what the important form is. That's the form. because in here there's like a crack. Let me see. Now that I showed you the form, I guess I can put the crack in. The Kraken, release the Kraken. There we go. Bring that out. There's a little bit of a crack right in there. Let me zoom in. Yeah, because of the shading, you're kind of losing it. Like a little crack there. Then it comes out. And this is where the detail is. Here, there's a little bit of a little bump. And then it swoops up. Swoops up. On the left side as well, we have that bump. We can actually follow along. See from here, I can a little horizontal line on the other side. Try to get that bump as well. There's this little bump on that side. And I'm not worried about, there's a lot of texture and stuff going on. I'm gonna save that for last. Trying to capture the form because that's more important. All right, then above the bump, there's a shape that goes behind like that. Another one on the left side. Now all we're doing is just kind of like decorating it now. That's all we're kind of doing. I'm gonna the triangle nose. I am going to there's a little bit of it comes up right in there. It's all dark. I really like the anatomy of this character and kind of like Sunny's drawing tonight. She had that perspective on one of her characters. Actually, hers was more exaggerated. But yeah, there's another drawing of this character and he's standing. You can see his muscles. You can see that would be a good one to draw. But definitely would be on this more advanced night. We're down to 6 people. Yeah, we still got our same 6, 5. Feel free to ask questions and feel free to, I like this smaller one when people are a little more focused. Yeah, because I think we lost quite a people on the robot. Yeah, definitely more advanced. Yeah, this one is too. All right, so we got that. Let's do the teeth. Okay, so one thing I like to do is just start the main teeth. So the main teeth, so we get the placement and how everything else falls into place. We have this main tooth that's right in here, that's coming up. And then on this other side, another main tooth coming up on this other side. We have these 2 teeth that are coming up. Right there. Right there. And then this does kind of curve up. And I'm looking at this shape right in here. This does curve up a little bit. All right, there we go. That's good. Right there, right there. And then what else? What are there some other main teeth? Oh yeah, there's some main teeth coming up here, up in this area pointing down. And there's this tooth in between. So that's good to know. I'm watching my spacing as I put this one in there, seeing how big it is, how it fits compared to what's there, because there's going to be one tooth in the middle. And this other one up in here. Bring it up a little higher. See, from where my drawing was, I'm bringing it up a little higher to make sure it fits the way I think it should.
How you are doing the eye?
How am I doing the what?
his eye, just 2 circles, that's it?
I think I did like 3 circles. I'll
Kinda
do it
like
again. I'll do it
Kind of like
again.
a donuts, like a donut.
Yeah, like little donuts. Yeah. So the first one, there's let me do it bigger. There's I did like a circle.
Mm-hmm. Got that.
There's a thickness to it. There's a, yeah, you can see it right there. And then around that, it's kind of like target. And actually this one should probably be a little bit shoot for accuracy. Right in there.
Okay, got that.
And then this it actually goes out to like a glow. So from here it kind of glows out a little bit. There's a little bit, it's not totally like that. And then that's the glow, that glow area. So from that circle, it glows, and you go into that one more circle right in there, like that. Like that. And then from there, that's where it shades out into black, or the dark. That dark one. I would let's see. There's a little bump. Let me see. Put that little bump in here. Let's up that one.
There's a little bump. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's in the I wouldn't worry about it. It's detail. There's a little bump in the brow. But what's important is this glow. You want to try to capture that glow as it goes around. Everything else is dark as it comes around here. There we go. Yeah, and it should, if you want to try to soften up these edges, this edge here, that makes it look more like it's glowing. And then here we go. Yeah, so that eye is like here. And then the darkness, there's that ridge that I did make that ridge kind of goes down here. Now, if you look at it, I mean, you can shoot for more accuracy. I am simplifying this a lot, but it depends on something like this. But as far as the details is what I'm talking about. There we go. Bam. See, I'm going to try to soften this up because it's glowing. So it shouldn't really have a sharp edge. It should be a soft edge. So I'm trying to soften it up right in there right now. And that's like really too small to do that. But here I can because it's bigger. You got to know where your limitations are on your materials. And that just comes with experience and what you want to try to get, how much detail. Sometimes simplifying things or there we go. See that? It looks like it's a little more like it's glowing than that one. I can probably soften this up. But I won't worry about it. And then there's like, I put one little ridge, but there's like 2 little ridges. There's one inside, and then there's another one on the outside. And the one on the outside is lighter. The one on the inside is a little darker. It's a little bit of a shade. It gives it more sense of a form too. Like this would be like a highlight. All right, but I just put one in there. All right, let's go back to there's the eye. Let's go back to the teeth. There are 4 teeth on top. There's 2 here and 2. It might be quite a squeeze. So there's 4 teeth. So there's my center. I find the center on that and the center on that, like that. Okay, so I found the middle, and then I found the middle of those, and that's where my 4 teeth are gonna go. And I can easily just go now, little triangles down. I'm probably gonna bring it over a little bit. Not even, but it's all good. Some of the lines are thicker, some of them are they're a little more curved. But I'm just simplifying it. And there's little curves. All right, Lily, good night. Now she's out. All right, so that's that my top teeth and the bottom teeth just kind of fit in between those. I want to give them the shape in there as well.
It's better than reverse mortgage.
This tooth right here. Just giving it a little more shapes and forms. Yeah, you got to find what you like to draw, because then that gives you a reason or a purpose. If you have a reason or a purpose, it'll get you through the how. A strong why will get you through the how. The how is the hard part. How did you do it? How do I, you figure it out. And if you don't like, you're like, oh my gosh, we got a lot of people who might have dropped off. It's like, oh, that's all good. There we go. Sticking it out. All right, I'm going to do the top teeth. Actually, I didn't close off the top teeth. They do close off. And they kind of go round it. They go a little bit around it, round it. Round it. The gum line. This goes up and top.
Oh,
There's another one in there, and then this tooth in between. Down. So you should kind of be looking at my drawing and also the original. There is smoke in here. The smoke. I'll do one side. It's definitely, this was done probably digitally. Sometimes in layers and painting, or even painted. You can easily paint on top. Something like this. But drawing is a whole other animal when it comes to especially shading and coloring. So I'm going to lose it because you have to shade around it to keep it light. Or erase. I can hear somebody erase. But even this is kind of small to erase. All right, it's coming in. It's coming in. We're almost there. 10:05 here. Yelena, that would be really late for her. Okay, once we have the teeth in, everything else is just going to be the detail. Let's see, breaking it down. We still have some more form up in the top, and then all the design. It's kind of like a design, the bean-shaped design that's on there. See, I go to the top after I finish these teeth. I think we're gonna have to. It's already 10:05. We're just gonna do the these teeth here. There's that one. And I might be even adding some extra teeth. I don't know. But here's where you, huh?
I didn't see that many teeth before.
Yeah,
I guess I'm just a bit behind.
that's okay. Yeah, and I'm gonna be simplifying. We're gonna simplify. Simplify. That's good. Yeah, because there's all these little lines like in here. I would put this. We can do this little line. It's almost like it's showing that form. So it's kind of almost like tracing above it. And same here on this side. There's this little line that kind of comes up. And this delineates or shows where that form kind of turns back. And if we really wanted to, probably shade it, but it doesn't have any shaded on that one up there. As this kind of like form kind of turns back. Just has those two little lines there with dots. And then the teeth are actually shaded, except for these teeth here. These teeth are actually light. The first ones we drew, they're actually light. I might go ahead and do that. That makes them stand out. If I shade all this stuff down slightly, pushing it back, pushing all these teeth back, just a really very light shade on all these teeth. I'm already doing shading, except for these two teeth right there. Those two teeth will pop out just slightly. There we go. Bam, there it is. See, so notice how these two teeth pop out more. Those are the main teeth we started off with. And then now it's all this little detail that goes in here. Circle, little shape, little line, little veins, and little right on the chin. And then there's this dark chin shape that pushes it in right in here. Kind of like that. I'm going to shade all that in. And then it goes right about there, kind of like that. And it gets lost. Actually, that same shape, we're going to go up. That the teeth kind of bring that shade down. Right there, like that. Right. Another thing that'll make this head pop, because everything down here is dark behind it. I don't have time to shade all that. And there's kind of like electrical stuff going on. All this here, well, I'm going to shade it really quick. All this in here will make the head pop.
Did I make my mouth too big?
I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely not a beginner drawing. Because you have facial proportions and you have values and all this detail. But it's doable. All right. There's that. There's a glow happening. That's pretty neat. In here, there's this shape. A circular detail there. And I'm just going to add the details now. That's this shape here. And there's other little details in here that probably just really quickly just go in there and just do. Yeah, it's all this little details, all this. It's hard to explain as I'm drawing it. I saw there's this line that's here that comes around, and then another little line in here, another shape. And I'm not even, yeah, all these shapes right there. Yeah, now I'm simplifying too. I'm not getting it for accuracy. It's really small detail. It'd be best to kind of look at the actual original picture, because I'm actually simplifying and changing it a little bit. But there's all these lines that are like this, and then the shading goes over it. Like here's another shape right in here. I'll do all my little lines and then shade on top of it. Yeah, these little lines, these little textured lines. Same up here. There's a crack. The crack on this side. Goes up, a little change of angle. This shape here. What is that? In the middle. Definitely on this side is a bigger crack. Kind of was getting it. A little bump right in there, a little bump. And then this crack on this side. Crack in that skull. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to open it up into the, there we go, to the eye. It opens up into the eye. Notice how that opens up into the eye. All right, let's get this form a little bit more. I don't want to lose the form. All right, so the center from the middle, there's like this V shape. Right in here. A little bump. And then it goes back and down. This V shape, little bump, and back like that. Yeah, because what's more important in the design is the structure. So I want to try to capture the structure. That looks pretty good. Another part of the structure is over here. Right there. Another little bump as it comes across. Oops. Okay. Erase a little bit. Then the symmetrical bump on the other side, just a little bit of a bump right there. Yeah, we had music tonight without knowing. All right, it's coming along, almost there. I would say another 5 minutes and we'll be done.
Huh?
Huh? No, probably more, but I can
You
Huh?
could be.
Yeah, it could be.
You could be.
Yeah,
Not the novice one.
that's all right. Okay, so there's there's another little crown shape right in here. So this crown shape goes like this, and then it curves up, and then it curves down. Try to keep it symmetrical. I think it went off a little bit. Then it comes up right there. And then two little points on the sides, like a little crown. I don't know what it is. This reminds me of a bug. They're little beetle shapes. They kind of, there we go. All right, so now it's all just, I'm going to draw all the line stuff and then shade it in. All right, so that's all this detail that goes in there. That's where it's going to be time consuming. All right, so we'll start off with the top. There's like a little circle shape right in there. It's not exactly a circle shape, but another two little circle shapes right in there, like little eyes. And then you have like an upside down W right in here like this. And I'm not doing it accurate, but it's all right. It's like it looks like a spider. And then this looks like a face. That's kind of like being outlined.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, all this stuff, all this little detail now. But we have the form and the structure, so kind of know where it kind of goes. And it just I'm getting the feel of it. I'm not even shooting for accuracy. I'm just getting in there, drawing it real quick. Yeah, this is why we need to do this in 2 nights. Even though I'm on vacation, I don't know how I was awoken at 6:20. I'm a partner. All right, so there's that. That's kind of pretty much that part. I'm going to continue with the other ones as well. Like right in here, there's like a V shape, almost like a heart right in there, ironically. Oops. Erase. Like this little heart shape right in there. Then another shape up here. Yeah, it's all this detail. All right, I'm just going to go for it. Let's just do it really quickly. There's one shape there. Another shape over here.
I'm out of space. I don't
Another
have space
shape.
for the horn.
That's, oh yeah. Oh, yeah, I got really close to the edge of my paper as well.
I'm too high up.
All right, so yeah, it's all this just detail now. And if you get it, yeah, it depends on how accurate you want it. What was important is that once the structure's in there, and all this is just detail. It's just can actually even be faked a little bit. Just putting little shapes in. Looks like a vein. So the line right next to it. Same thing up here on the horns. There's all these little like double lines, make it look like veins. Yeah, and some stuff I do like really quick without even thinking about it. I see it and record it. I'm recording what I see. And that just comes with practice. I mean, just gotta, that's where just doing it. Then I gotta change the thing. Okay, so now here, this is actually important. In here, this eyebrow, it's kind of like an eyebrow. It's actually lighter than the rest of it. I want to try to capture that. It does come right in here, and I want to try to capture this form. There's like this oval shape, and then it goes into a thinner shape up here, this eyebrow. So I do want to capture that eyebrow shape, try to get that accurate. And another eyebrow shape on this other side. A small oval, then a big oval right in there, and then it gets thin. And then all this. But all this up here is shaded. All this is shaded. When it goes to shading or coloring it, be easier to color it with watercolors or something else, but get a good edge on it. My pencil here. I'll do that by shading on where it needs to shade anyways.
Can you move it a little bit up? I can't see the eyebrows.
Sure. Yeah, I'm shading down here just to work my pencil down. And then up here, all this is going to be light. That's all light. Let me finish drawing the shapes actually. But I got that accurately, or as accurately as I could. The rest of it is not as important, but there's a lot of like little shapes. This shape here. Actually, what am I? On this other shape up here comes down. That's, oh yeah, that's good right there. I'm just gonna outline this one part. There. So all this needs to be shaded. All this will make the eyebrows pop. And it's not a dark shade. It's a light shade. There it is. Same thing over here. This is in the shade. Just putting shade in this, that one tone. It's that one tone, that one value. Got rid of the smoke. All this is going to be shaded as well, right in here. Just a slight shade. Slight shade back. Now I'm going to go up here and shade in these little shapes as well. Shaded. Shade these shapes in. I'm just shading in these little shapes that I drew in earlier. It's a little bit of a shade. Inside, inside, inside. I think there's more shapes. Yeah, they're more like vein shapes on the horns. On this side, I didn't do the left side. And backing up. And then all this is kind of like in a shade. Oh, this is just in a shade. It blends down as it goes up and it blends. There's a lot of blending. And even all in this on this top half, there is the shapes are shaded, but then there's blending as well. This top part there is blending. So I'm going to shade the shapes in first, and then I'm going to blend them out. There's some blending that's happening. It's kind of interesting. So notice I just shaded all the shapes in, and then I'm going to lose some of it because it's kind of even the shape in here is shaded, but all this is actually that same shade. And then it comes down. Watch carefully as it comes down, it just kind of fades out. See, I'm going from where the circle is, the center up on the top, and then kind of just blending it into what I have already there. And including this is going to be blended. These little white points. There we go. Around the same value. There we go. Let me shade a little more over here. Ooh, the neck. There's more going on in the neck and back here. Yeah, it actually would widen it up. So I'm happy with that. I think there's a little more details here and there. I'm gonna just skip them. I can probably get some little more that, yeah, like in here, there's more. Actually, why don't we draw it real quick right in there? Maybe even shade it out a little bit. Yeah, just all these little lines on this side as well. There's 3. Probably, was there on the other side? Yeah, there was 3 on the other side as well. I just did 1. There we go. There's the 3 shapes shaded in. Slight shade. Scary. Not perfect. All right, on this side, I can't see, but I know on this side, I can see a little bit of like still a little bit more form, even though there's smoke. There's like the neck actually probably comes out thicker. So I would assume that's the same on the other side because he does have muscles. That's right. I'm remembering the other drawing now. He is very muscular. So these are the this would be the trapezium. Yeah, that's the trapezium. The sternocleidomastoid is in here like that muscle. But that's mostly part of the trapezium. That trapezium is the shoulder muscle. Trapezium. And that's what that is. It gives you that triangular shape. And there's little triangles here. Let me zoom out. Yeah, this side should be symmetrical. It's triangular trapezium. Even though it's not shown in the picture, I'm gonna do it because I know he's and I'm just sketching it. It's just a sketch. I'm not worrying about all the little detail. There's a lot of detail. But you know, if you're doing it and you're you do it without thinking. I'm gonna just make it all just one shape. There it is. Ta-da! All right. I think that's not too bad. There's a little more details and stuff in here. And this eye would be definitely would go further back up like that. Yeah, if I were to draw it bigger, you could get more detail on it if we spend more time on it. Well, it depends on where everybody's at. I don't know, that whole wheel of names. Maybe need to simplify it. This is the first time we did it. See what comes up. When I was testing it, I go, oh, yeah, it turned out good. But some of the Disney characters, see, that's too general. Oh, I removed it. And it is a,
Can you bring it closer?
yes.
Thank you.
Faces. Let's see, we drew faces. But that's okay. How's that? Did you want me to go
Good.
higher, lower?
Lower. That's good.
That's good. I can go closer. Or is that good?
Now go higher so I can see the mouth. Thank you. I was going to take a picture.
Sure.
Wow.
Find the original. Oh, the original has more. There's more lines and stuff in the original. Let me
Looks
see.
like one of those Star Trek alien
Yeah,
character.
yeah.
Maybe my son would like this. He likes to draw those animes, robot that you showed me earlier.
He's probably
Very,
gonna see. He's gonna know what it is.
very detailed.
Yeah.
He used the Procreate to draw.
Oh yes. Yeah, I like Procreate.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna stop recording. Here we go. We're down to 4 people.